It was March 2018. I was on the way to Antarctica to run a marathon. And that's when I thought I was gonna die. Okay, backtrack. So a few years before that, we had just finished Ironman race with my friends, and we were celebrating, drinking wine, and we're talking about another ridiculous race that we could sign up for. And somebody said something about a marathon in Antarctica, and we all thought that was a good idea, so we all signed up for it. And we had to be in waitlist, so 3 years later, in 2018, we were going down. We had to fly to Buenos Aires, and then from there go to Ushuaia, southest point of Argentina, and then get on the ship to go to Antarctica. Many of you don't know me. There's a thing about me where I don't read instructions. I also do not follow any direction whatsoever. And if I'm racing, I do not review the course map at all. Because why? Like, be surprised and figure it out, right? So again, per usual, I just showed up. I had no idea what kind of ship we were going south with. We went to the port, and my roommate is here, sitting here. Everybody, all my friends, they all celebrated. They saw the ship, except for me, because I hadn't read about the vessel that we were going to travel with. There was this humongous cruise ship, and then a Lego piece of a ship. And that was our ship. That was our vessel that we're going to travel with. So in my heart, I knew that I wouldn't come back from that. As soon as I got off the grid, I wouldn't come back. So I thought I should call my family beforehand, before we lose cell service, to just say bye, a little dramatic now that I'm here. So, when you're on the plane and they start the safety briefing, right? How many of you actually listen? I put a headphone in because, if things happen, I'm not going to be, either I'm going to figure it out or it's going to be too late for me to do anything. So I did the same thing on the ship, my first time ever on the ship, by the way. When they started safety briefing, I left the room to call my daughter, last time, and then I took a shower. So everybody who was at that safety briefing knew that there was a safety drill going to happen. So I'm in the shower, and I hear chaos outside, and my roommate Dexter is knocking on the door. I'm thinking, this is too early to sink. We haven't left yet. So I came out of the shower with the towel around me. I went out to look, and I saw people lined up. They said it's a safety drill. It's like, okay, got it. So I took my time, got dressed, walked on the deck, the last person on deck, got a standing ovation. Thank you for showing up. And so that evening was smooth sailing. The next day was a beautiful day on Drake Passage. We basically just like everywhere you were looking was just ocean, was just water. We weren't going to see land until the next day, midday. And there was no ship, nothing around us. It was very beautiful, just being alone and off the grid, no cell service, no nothing. That evening, we were in the bed, and I woke up because I got thrown around, and there was a storm. We couldn't see anything outside the little window that we had, and we were shaking. And I thought, well, this is it, but I'm going to figure it out. I looked at Dexter. I said, I got it. And I went to our cabin, to our closet, and got all the wine bottles that we had in my bag and my satellite phone, and I got dressed. Because I think my idea was that if you're stuck in a lifeboat with your friends, you want to get drunk and then drunk text people, right? What are you going to do? Like, you're there for how many days? So, and then we laid on the bed because it wasn't safe, We were just shaking around, and it was unsafe to stand up. So we're laying down in the bed, and I was holding the bag very close to me. It was jiggling, very soothing. And we were talking about things like trying to just keep each other calm, like about shows that we're watching. I can't remember what it was. Maybe it was like Game of Thrones or Suits or whatever it was, to just keep each other grounded. And while that all was happening, I made a deal with the universe. I said, I'm going to promise 2 things. If I make it out of this storm alive, I'm going to do 2 things. I'm going to run this marathon with no nagging and the biggest smile on my face. And then the second thing is that I'm going to make the change that I've been thinking about in the past year or so. So eventually the storm calmed down, went away. We fell asleep. The next day we went to the cafeteria. Everybody was shaken. Everybody talked about, what happened the night before, and we laughed about it. We saw the land, and then the following day was when we ran the marathon. And it was the most beautiful marathon I've ever ran in my entire life. We started in just white out, and then the sun came out, and everything kind of melted, and then it turned into ice, and then white out again. So the weather changes in Antarctica pretty frequently. So it kept changing on us, and I did smile the entire time. I was in massive pain, but I did smile. I kept it. And I finished with the biggest smile on my face. I did that, and then I had to go through with my second promise to myself. So when I came home is when I talked to my now ex-husband, and I told him that we needed to get separated. And we did, and I kept my promises, and we're much happier now. But I think for that very night, and for all the penguins and the whales and the seals that we saw while running the marathon, I think Antarctica, for those reasons, is my lifetime, my trip of a lifetime forever.